Welcome to the very first episode of the podcast. I am Sara Liberale, and I am so excited that you guys are here. So there is nothing good start. There is nothing glamorous about this. I have been saying I wanted to start a podcast for as long as I can remember. And I was driving into work today, and I'm like, you know what? I'm starting my podcast today. So here we are. So there's probably going to be a bunch of errors. It's fine. Just do it. Just start. We'll figure it out later. Okay, so today's episode, we are going to talk about the power of the pivot. If you don't know me, here's a quick backstory, and then you'll understand why this is so relevant to me right now. So, I was a teacher. I graduated from Niagara University in 2008 with a degree in teaching, and then I went back for my master's degree in literacy instruction. And then I was in the classroom for a few years, and I was like, I don't know if I love this. Maybe I want to be like a principal or something. I feel like I need to be doing something different. So I went back and got my second master's degree in educational leadership. And when I was 30, I was like, you know what? This isn't for me. It's just not my thing. So I started an online store, and that was in 2018. And by 2019, I opened our first brick and mortar location. And in 2020, we bought this beautiful building here on Center Street in Lewiston, New York. And I'm obsessed with it. I have this beautiful store. Well, I'll just give you the full backstory because I feel like people keep asking what's going on. So here, let me just explain it. I work 70 hours a week. I was like working myself out of a happy marriage. I spent every day, all day long being at the store. If I wasn't at the store, I was checking the cameras, checking Shopify, making sure everything was going right, answering emails, answering DMs on Instagram. I had zero work-life balance. I still have zero work-life balance, but that's going to change next week. Hence the power of the pivot. I decided a few months ago now, well, I skipped something. So in March, after a number of people asked me to help them with things like their social media or their website, and I'm just like doing it for free. And I'm like, you know what? I could do this for people. Like it's my favorite part of business. It's the marketing aspect. And I had to learn how to do it all just from doing it. No one taught me how to do any of this. I have no background in any of these things. And I decided that I'm going to say out loud that I'm helping people. And I am March, April, May, June, July, it's August, 5 months in. I have 25 clients. I'm building websites. I'm managing social media accounts. I'm doing email marketing. It's so fun. I am having so much fun. And the most fun part of it all is that I get to see the inside and behind the scenes of these amazing entrepreneurs that are doing magnificent things, and I get to help them. It is so fun. I decided that I had to pick one or the other. I was either going to continue to have this brick and mortar location, manage 7 employees and the store and do all these things, or I was going to do the marketing. And I decided I'm going to hone in on the marketing. So I made the announcement out loud about a month ago, and this weekend is our last weekend of our brick and mortar location of the Rose Hanger shop. So it is not dead. Rose Hanger is still going to live. It's just going to live online only. So just a little less requirement from me of my physical time of being here 24/7, but I get to still do what I love and play with clothing and create content and do all those wonderful things. And then this building that we bought, me and my husband, we bought this together, is going to be amazing. So the first floor is going to be my marketing agency and creative space. So I'm going to have my podcasting studio. So hopefully next time you see me, it's going to be a little more glamorous than this. I'm going to have a photo drop backdrop. So when people come in, instead of sending me, a selfie with their husband cut off at their wedding for their picture for their website, I can take pictures of them I'm by no means a photographer, but we can at least get some quality content out to put on your website. I'm also going to have like a meeting space. I'm going to have projectors set up so that way I can show your website on like a giant wall. It's going to be awesome. And then it's also going to be storage for the Rose Hanger. And the second floor where I am right now, which has been my office for the last 3 years, is going to be an Airbnb. And I'm really excited for that. I'm actually like currently shopping for furniture, and it is so fun. So yeah, that is my full-blown plan. So let's talk about pivoting. So it is something that I have like had so many sleepless nights over, I don't even know where to start. And I still get emotional even when I talk about it to this day, because I love Rose Hanger. And if you've watched anything that I've pushed out in content the last month or so, you can probably see that like there's a big part of me that seems sad, and I am. This is like the end of an era. Monica said an era is a significant. No, it was Rachel. Has a significant period of time, and it's significant for me. And I built this from nothing. I was packing orders at my kitchen table on Ontario Ave in the Falls when I first started this. So it's hard to say, like, you know what, that thing that I wanted so bad, I wanted to be big. I wanted to be huge. And I got there. And I was like, yeah, this isn't for me. I didn't want to work. I didn't want to work all the time. I want to live a soft life. I feel like we all want that. Like, who doesn't want a soft life? But like, I really like, I don't want to work every day, all day long. I want to work when I need to, hustle when I need to, and then also relax when I need to. And I was missing that relax aspect. I feel so much better already, and I'm still in the hustle. So I can't wait to see what the next couple weeks, couple months, couple years brings. But it's okay to pivot. It is okay to change your mind. It's okay to redefine your success. Just because you decide something at 18 years old does not mean you need to do that for the rest of your life. I have already pivoted, not one, not two. This is number 3. And guess what? 10 years from now, I wouldn't be shocked if I was doing something else. You are not the same person. I am not the same person I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago. My 20-year reunion is next week, or next year, not next week, is next year. Clearly, I am not the same girl I was when I decided I wanted to go to school to be a teacher. And I am thankful I am no longer that girl. Whew. If you knew me back then, you're probably thankful I'm no longer that girl too. But I'm so different. I'm even so different from when I started Rose Hanger 5 years ago. I am so different. And we're all that way. There's no way you're the same person you were back then. I hope you're not. If you are, you need to open your eyes. So saying that, I have to say that like pivoting is supposed to be part of your life. We are evolving and you need to do what makes you happy. So my happiness has become my number one priority. And I just can't wait to watch what unfolds for me. There's 2 types of people in this world. There are the people that jump and they know the net will appear and they're not even worried, or the people that need to build the net and then build a layer under the net and a layer over the net and then have a bungee cord on to make sure if the net breaks, they're still going to bounce back up. I am definitely the jump and the net will appear. I will figure it out. I will bootstrap it. I will do whatever I need to do to make that work. Some people need to build that safety net, and that's okay. That is okay to build that safety net. Maybe you want to start a business and you don't know where to start. Just start it. Just start it. Just post it. Just put it out there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It should be messy. It's going to be messy. But just start it. Figure out how you can make that side hustle work and do that, but then give yourself a timeline. Say, I'm going to do both for 6 months, and then I'm either going all in or I'm just going to stick with what I'm doing because I can't do this. But you need to give yourself a reasonable amount of time to try and make this work. But you also need to give yourself a timeline of when that extreme hustle is going to end. Spend that time, go all in. Go like hard. Everything you have, put into it. Market it, and don't be afraid to yell it from the rooftops. And guess what? There's going to be people that are like, honey, why are you posting this? Why are you being so annoying on social media? What is this that you're doing? Guess what? Who cares? They're probably not going to be your client anyways. They're probably not going to buy from you. That's just fine. They don't need to. You don't have to have your friends and family buy from you to be supported and to be successful. I can tell you, for example, when I started this marketing, I had so many people being like, what is this little marketing thing you're doing now? Did you go to school for that? Did you go to school for that? No, sis, I did not go to school for that. And that's okay. Guess what? I know how to do it and I know how to do it well. And that's all that matters. So figure it out, advertise it, get it out into the world. I feel like this is the most chaotic podcast episode to ever exist, but it's my first attempt. So please bear with me. But yeah, if I could give you any advice, it's just do it. And don't be afraid of what anyone's going to say. Because guess what? If you don't have haters, you're doing something wrong. Someone's going to always hate. And it's always the people that are miserable in their own life and they're secretly wishing they were doing what you're doing. The people that hate on you for trying to better yourself are just too miserable themselves and they're projecting it on you. That's it. Like, if I could, like I would drop the mic right now, but it's new. I don't want to break it. But yeah, just don't be afraid to share it. Just don't be afraid to put yourself out into the world and do what you want to do, because life is short and you never know what's going to happen in your life. And there's so many things that could change or could go wrong or that could pivot you off the track you want to pivot onto. And you don't want to look back one day and say, man, I wish I did that. I can tell you that this is like kind of morbid, but like when I'm on my deathbed, I want to look back and say, I did that. I did all the things I wanted to do. I did all of it. I don't want to ever look back and be like, man, I didn't do that. You know what I always wish I did? I didn't do that either. I don't ever want to look back and say, man, what was I thinking? Why didn't I just try it? Why didn't I just give it a try? I guess that's it. Thank you for listening to the very first episode of my podcast. I will probably be a little more structured in the future and maybe have a script of some sort, maybe some notes, some bullet points. I just winged it today and said what was on my mind. And I hope you enjoyed it. So until next time, thank you for listening to the Sara Liberale podcast.